Gentlemen, let's begin with something very simple but very powerful. Sleep is not just rest. For men, especially men over the age of 60, sleep is one of the most important medicines you can give your body. Yet many overlook it, thinking that getting by on a few hours is just part of aging. But the truth is very different. Poor sleep is directly tied to lower testosterone levels. And when testosterone falls, nearly every part of your daily life is affected. Now, let's be clear. Testosterone is not just the so-called male hormone. It is the engine behind your energy, your strength, your sharpness of mind, and yes, your sexual health too. And where is most of this testosterone made? During your sleep. Specifically, deep sleep. When your body finally relaxes, your brain shifts into a repair and reset mode. Growth hormone and testosterone are released in pulses, helping your body rebuild muscles, strengthen bones, and keep your heart healthy. But if you are tossing, turning, waking up too often, or simply not sleeping long enough, this natural process is broken. Studies show that even 1 week of poor sleep can drop testosterone levels by as much as 10 to 15% in older men. Imagine that. Just 7 nights of disrupted sleep can leave you feeling weaker, more tired, and less motivated. Many men then think it's just old age catching up, when in reality, their hormones are taking a hit simply because they aren't sleeping properly. Think about how you feel after a rough night. The next morning, you drag yourself out of bed, your muscles feel heavier, your mind is foggy, and even simple tasks feel harder. That is not just fatigue. It is your body signaling that hormone balance has been disturbed. Over time, if this pattern repeats, the body adapts to a new low testosterone normal, which means your energy, drive, and vitality remain stuck in low gear. Now here's something interesting. Sleep is not only about quantity, but about quality. A man may say, "Doctor, I sleep 6 or 7 hours." But if those hours are light, broken, or full of interruptions, the benefit is much less. Deep stages of sleep, particularly what doctors call REM and slow-wave sleep, are the real gold mines for testosterone production. And as men get older, these stages naturally become shorter. So that means your margin for error becomes smaller. You need to protect your sleep more carefully, or your hormone levels will suffer. Let's also talk about how poor sleep disrupts your body clock. Inside you, there is something called the circadian rhythm, a natural timer that regulates when your body releases hormones, when your body temperature changes, and even when your digestion is most active. Testosterone follows this rhythm, peaking in the early morning hours after a night of quality sleep. That's why men often feel most energetic and alert in the morning. But when sleep is shallow or cut short, this rhythm gets disturbed. Instead of a strong testosterone peak, you get a weak one. Instead of waking up ready for the day, you wake up sluggish, unmotivated, and sometimes even irritable. And it doesn't end there. Poor sleep raises stress hormones like cortisol. Cortisol and testosterone are like a seesaw. When one goes up, the other goes down. High cortisol levels from bad sleep not only lower testosterone, but also increase belly fat, raise blood sugar, and make it harder for you to concentrate. Over time, this combination can increase risks for diabetes, heart disease, and memory problems. In other words, the damage goes far beyond just feeling tired. So what does all this mean for you as a man over 60? It means that sleep is not optional. It is one of the foundations of your health. A strong night's sleep is like refilling your tank with high-octane fuel. Without it, your engine sputters. With it, you function at your best. Many men invest money in supplements, gym memberships, or even expensive treatments, but neglect the single most powerful and free tool for their testosterone: consistent, deep, restorative sleep. Here's the key takeaway for this first part. Poor sleep lowers testosterone, weakens daily vitality, and accelerates aging in ways you can feel. But the good news is it's not permanent. Just as quickly as poor sleep can lower your hormones, better sleep can restore them. By protecting your nights, you protect your masculinity, your energy, and your overall health. Now that we've laid this foundation, in the next section, we're going to go deeper. We'll look at how disrupted hormones from poor sleep affect not just testosterone, but also your mood, your muscle strength, and your sexual health. And I promise, some of what you'll learn will surprise you. So stay with me, because this is where it gets even more important.
Now that we understand how poor sleep lowers testosterone, let's talk about what that actually means in your daily life. Because it's one thing to know the hormone numbers are dropping, but it's another to see how it affects your body, your mind, and your confidence as a man. First, let's look at mood. Testosterone is more than just a hormone for muscle and sex drive. It plays a huge role in how stable and motivated you feel each day. When testosterone is in a healthy range, men report feeling more positive, more driven, and more resilient to stress. But when sleep cuts those levels down, mood takes a hit. You may notice yourself getting irritated more easily, feeling down for no reason, or struggling with motivation to do even simple things like exercise or hobbies. There's science to back this up. Studies show that men with lower testosterone often score higher on measures of depression, anxiety, and fatigue. And this isn't about weakness, it's about biology. When sleep robs your body of testosterone, your brain loses one of its key stabilizers. It's like running a car without enough oil. The engine grinds and overheats. Similarly, your emotional engine starts to wear down when testosterone drops. Now, let's shift to muscle. Testosterone is the #1 hormone responsible for maintaining muscle mass in men. After the age of 60, men naturally start to lose muscle, something doctors call sarcopenia. But poor sleep speeds this up. Without enough testosterone, your body struggles to repair and build muscle fibers after even normal daily activities, let alone exercise. This means you get weaker faster, and muscles that once felt strong may now feel soft or smaller. Think about the last time you tried lifting something heavy after a poor night's sleep. It feels harder, doesn't it? That's because your body hasn't fully recovered. Over time, this can create a cycle. Poor sleep lowers testosterone, low testosterone weakens muscle, weaker muscles make daily activities harder, and then fatigue makes sleep even more difficult. It's a cycle that pushes men into accelerated aging. And then there's sexual health. This is often the area men notice first when testosterone begins to slip. Testosterone fuels libido, sexual desire, and erectile function. But when sleep is shallow or broken and testosterone levels fall, sexual health declines. Erections become weaker, sexual interest fades, and confidence suffers. Many men assume it's purely a circulation issue or just age, but in reality, poor sleep and hormonal imbalance are often at the root. It's also important to understand how sleep interacts with other hormones beyond testosterone. For example, poor sleep increases cortisol, the stress hormone we talked about earlier. High cortisol doesn't just lower testosterone, it also narrows blood vessels and raises blood pressure. This combination makes it harder for blood to flow where it's needed during intimacy. That's why sleep-deprived men often struggle not just with desire, but also with performance. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, also comes into play. When melatonin is out of rhythm because you're not sleeping well, it affects the timing of testosterone release. Instead of a healthy surge in the morning, you get a weak signal. This misalignment can make mornings sluggish and can blunt that natural drive that should be strongest at the start of the day. What many men don't realize is that poor sleep also affects bones. Testosterone works with other hormones to keep bones dense and strong. Without it, bones become more fragile over time, raising the risk of fractures from even simple falls. So, while you might think sleep only affects how you feel the next day, the truth is it has long-term consequences on your physical resilience. But here's where things get interesting. When men start to improve their sleep, many of these problems begin to reverse. Muscle strength improves because testosterone is back to supporting recovery. Mood stabilizes because the brain is once again getting the hormonal balance it needs. Sexual health improves because testosterone levels rise, cortisol falls, and blood flow becomes healthier. It's like flipping a switch. One change in your lifestyle can ripple out across your whole body. Gentlemen, this is why urologists and sleep specialists stress the importance of sleep hygiene. It's not about being perfect or sleeping like a teenager again. It's about giving your body the chance to do what it's designed to do: repair, rebuild, and restore. And testosterone is at the center of it all. So here's the big takeaway from this section. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you tired. It chips away at your mood, your muscle, your sexual health, and even your bones. But when you improve your sleep, you're not just resting. You're actively boosting testosterone and protecting the very qualities that make you feel strong, sharp, and confident as a man. Next, we're going to dive into the actual science of sleep cycles and testosterone production. I'll break down exactly what happens during the night, stage by stage, and explain why those hours matter more than most men realize. Stay with me. This is where the hidden mechanics of your body really come alive.
Now that we've covered how disrupted hormones affect mood, muscle, and sexual health, let's get into the actual mechanics of sleep itself. Because understanding when and how your body makes testosterone will give you a clear picture of why missing even a couple of hours of sleep can throw everything off balance. Sleep isn't one long, steady state. It's divided into repeating cycles that typically last around 90 minutes each. Over the course of a healthy night, you'll go through 4 or 5 of these cycles. Each cycle has distinct stages, and each stage has a different effect on your brain, your hormones, and your body's ability to recover. The stages are generally grouped into 2 categories: non-REM sleep and REM sleep. Stage 1 is that drowsy, drifting off period. Your brain is still somewhat active, and you can be awakened easily. Stage 2 is light sleep, where your heart rate slows and body temperature drops. This stage prepares your body for the deeper phases of recovery. Stages 3 and 4, often called slow wave or deep sleep, are the powerhouses of restoration. This is when growth hormone is released, tissues are repaired, and your body consolidates physical recovery. It's also when your testosterone starts to surge. REM sleep, or rapid eye movement, is when your brain becomes highly active. Dreams occur here, but more importantly, this is when your brain recharges, processes memories, and regulates mood. REM sleep is also linked to maintaining a healthy balance of sex hormones, including testosterone. Now, here's the critical part. Testosterone production is most closely tied to deep, slow-wave sleep in the early part of the night. During these stages, the pituitary gland sends signals that stimulate the testes to release more testosterone. If you're missing these hours, say you go to bed at 2 a.m. instead of 10 p.m., you're cutting out the exact window when testosterone is naturally supposed to rise. In a healthy man, testosterone levels begin to climb shortly after sleep onset and peak during the first REM phase. By morning, levels should be at their highest, giving you that natural boost of energy, motivation, and sexual drive. But when sleep is fragmented or shortened, the testosterone curve flattens out. Instead of waking up recharged, you wake up depleted. Think of it like a battery. Deep sleep is the charging phase. If you only plug in your phone for half the night, it doesn't matter how good the charger is. You'll still wake up with a weak battery. That's exactly what happens to your testosterone when sleep is cut short. Research confirms this. Studies have shown that men who sleep fewer than 5 hours per night for just 1 week can experience a 10 to 15% drop in testosterone. That's a massive decline for such a short period. Imagine what happens when poor sleep becomes the norm for months or years. It accelerates aging and magnifies every problem we discussed earlier: low mood, weak muscles, poor erections, and fading continence. But there's another layer here. The timing of sleep matters just as much as the length. Testosterone is governed by your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock. If you stay up too late or constantly change your sleep schedule, your hormone release gets out of sync. It's like planting seeds in the wrong season. They simply don't grow as well. This is why men who do shift work, like night shifts, often struggle with lower testosterone levels, higher rates of erectile dysfunction, and increased risk of metabolic diseases. Their sleep cycles are misaligned with their hormone cycles, and the body can't fully adapt. Now let's connect this to erections. Healthy testosterone levels don't just fuel libido, they also contribute to the spontaneous erections men experience during REM sleep. These nighttime erections aren't just random. They're actually a sign of good circulation and healthy testosterone production. When they stop happening, it's often an early warning sign that sleep quality, hormone levels, or blood flow are being disrupted. So, when a man improves his sleep, going to bed earlier, protecting deep sleep, and completing multiple cycles, the results can be dramatic. Testosterone production normalizes, nighttime erections return, and overall vitality improves. One more fascinating detail: testosterone doesn't just depend on getting sleep, it also depends on staying asleep. Fragmented sleep, where you wake up multiple times, can blunt testosterone just as much as staying up late. Even if the total number of hours looks okay, the constant interruptions prevent you from hitting those deep stages long enough for the hormone surge to occur. Here's the key takeaway from this section. Testosterone is made in the night, not the day. You can't catch up with a nap or an energy drink. Once you miss the deep sleep window, you've missed the prime opportunity for your body to restore one of its most important hormones. And that's why urologists always say, if you want better mood, stronger muscles, and healthier erections, start by fixing your sleep. It's not optional, it's the foundation. In the next section, we'll go over the specific health consequences men face when testosterone stays chronically low from years of poor sleep. This includes cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. Understanding this will help you see why sleep isn't just about feeling rested, it's about staying alive.
We've covered a lot so far: the science, the dangers, the long-term consequences, but knowledge means very little without action. So now, let's talk about the practical, everyday steps men over 60 can take to improve sleep and, in turn, support healthy testosterone levels. And don't worry, these aren't complicated routines or expensive treatments. These are things you can start doing tonight, in your own home, without any special equipment. Let's begin with the foundation: sleep hygiene. This term simply means the habits and environment you create around bedtime. Think of it like setting the stage for a good night's performance. If the stage is messy, the performance will suffer. Number 1, keep a consistent sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day helps train your body's internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm. When this rhythm is steady, testosterone production has a better chance to peak in the early morning, as it naturally should. Number 2, limit exposure to screens before bed. Phones, TVs, and tablets emit blue light that tricks the brain into thinking it's still daytime. This delays the release of melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. And remember, when melatonin release is delayed, deep sleep is shortened, and deep sleep is when most testosterone is released. A simple fix? Turn off bright screens at least an hour before bed. If you must use them, consider dimming the brightness or using a blue light filter. Number 3, create a sleep-friendly environment. The room should be cool, dark, and quiet. Even small light sources like a glowing alarm clock can reduce sleep quality. If noise is an issue, try a fan, earplugs, or white noise. Think of your bedroom as a sleep sanctuary. Nothing more, nothing less. Next, let's talk about lifestyle factors. One of the most overlooked causes of poor sleep in older men is caffeine. While that cup of coffee in the morning is fine, drinking it in the afternoon or evening can still disrupt sleep hours later. Caffeine lingers in the body far longer than most people realize. A good rule is to stop drinking coffee, tea, or soda by early afternoon. Another lifestyle factor is alcohol. Some men believe a nightcap helps them sleep, but while alcohol may make you fall asleep faster, it actually reduces deep sleep and REM sleep, the most restorative stages. Over time, this lowers testosterone even further. So if you enjoy a drink, keep it moderate and avoid it right before bedtime. Now, let's move to movement and exercise. Regular physical activity is one of the best natural boosters for both sleep and testosterone. Exercise lowers stress hormones, improves circulation, and makes it easier to fall asleep at night. Strength training in particular has been shown to raise testosterone levels in older men. And here's the good part: you don't need heavy weights or long workouts. Even body weight exercises like push-ups, squats, or light resistance bands a few times a week can make a difference. Just be sure not to exercise too close to bedtime, because the adrenaline rush can keep you awake. Aim for morning or afternoon workouts. Let's not forget about nutrition. What you eat affects how well you sleep and how much testosterone your body produces. Diets high in processed sugars and refined carbs can disrupt blood sugar levels, making it harder to sleep deeply. On the other hand, foods rich in magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D support hormone health and better rest. Examples include nuts, seeds, leafy greens, lean meats, eggs, and fatty fish like salmon. And don't underestimate hydration. Being even slightly dehydrated can affect energy, mood, and hormone production. Another key element is stress management. High levels of stress keep cortisol elevated. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and it directly competes with testosterone. The higher your cortisol, the lower your testosterone. Poor sleep raises cortisol, and high cortisol makes sleep worse. It's a vicious cycle. To break it, you need relaxation practices. Breathing exercises, meditation, prayer, or even a quiet walk in nature before bed can calm the nervous system and help the body slip into restful sleep. Now, a quick word on medical conditions. Many older men suffer from sleep apnea, a disorder where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. This condition not only wrecks sleep quality, but also drastically lowers testosterone. If you snore heavily, wake up gasping, or feel unusually tired even after a full night's sleep, it's important to talk to a doctor about screening for sleep apnea. Treating it can make a dramatic difference in both sleep and hormone health. So, if we were to put it all together, the recipe for better sleep and stronger testosterone in older men looks like this. Keep a regular sleep-wake schedule, power down screens before bed, make your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, limit caffeine and alcohol, exercise regularly but not right before bed, eat whole, nutrient-rich foods that support hormones, manage stress with relaxation techniques, and get checked for sleep disorders if needed. It's simple, but it requires consistency. And here's the most important part. Don't wait until things get worse. Many men shrug off poor sleep as just part of aging, but that's not the truth. Aging doesn't mean giving up your energy, your strength, or your confidence. You have more control than you think. Small changes add up, and every night of good sleep is like a deposit in your health bank. Over time, those deposits grow into more vitality, more clarity, and more strength to do the things you love. Before we close, I want to leave you with this thought. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's the most powerful medicine your body already has. Protecting it protects your testosterone, your health, and your future. If you found this helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, a brother, or someone you care about. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more health advice designed for men like you. Remember, stronger days start with stronger nights. Take care of your sleep and your testosterone, and your life will thank you.